When you're going to buy a product, anything that you're gonna buy, you probably associate high prices with high quality. And I think that is what the market wants us to think, that as long as a product is more expensive, it will have more quality. Now what this watch does is that it comes to show us that that is not true. I mean, yes, generally price influences quality. If a product costs a lot of money, the least you expect is from the producers of that product to deliver something that has a good quality or even an equivalent quality of the price that you paid. But I also think that we confuse the terms, thinking that an affordable product cannot be of high quality. And I think a lot of times we are very wrong. If you stop to think and analyze the situation, we don't actually need watches. There are many things we have and we want, but that we don't actually need. If you happen to need a watch because you need to tell the time, the only one you need is a $10 Casio from Amazon and you're set. You don't need anything more. But I think that more than explaining it to you, this watch shows you that you don't need to spend a fortune to have a watch that looks good, feels good, is sturdy, well built, and above all, attracts attention because of how beautiful it is. And right now I would ask you a question. Why do you wear the watch that you're wearing right now? Why did you choose that watch today? Why did you choose that buy when you bought it? Was it for the brand? Was it for the quality? Was it for the memories? Was it for the color? I have experienced something by having a lot of watches gone through my hands, that I am able to start identifying quality. And I'm not referring to the price. It becomes a little easier to identify something that is well built when you have a lot of those things in your hands. The weight of the metal, the finishing, the polishing, the crystal, the bracelet. And I have really discovered that the price you pay has sometimes nothing to do with the quality. But this Timex, it comes out swinging. Because from what I've seen, for the price it has, it delivers quite a high quality. I'm going to leave the video here about identifying quality, some tips that I give. But I think generally, and something for which I choose my favorite brands, is because they deliver a higher quality than the price I am paying. And while quality is something of a subjective theme, you can feel it, you can feel quality, but it's difficult to explain quality. I believe that several factors make us feel it in this watch, and I hope I am able to transmit it through video to you. The construction of the watch feels quite robust. It does. The movement is a mecha quartz, which means that the second hand moves as if it were a mechanical watch. But in my opinion, what gives this watch the higher quality feel is the bracelet. Now, generally brands do not put much thought into this part of watches, but in this case, it is a key part of why it feels so sturdy. We have solid end links that makes the watch vibrate less, and of course they come with a quick release so you can swap bracelet and strap easier. Now each link in this bracelet is also solid, which of course that helps with the weight of the watch. It helps make the bracelet much more sturdy, and it helps on the overall quality. We have an acceptable clasp, which, listen. But I challenge you to find a watch in the price range of this Timex that has a high quality bracelet such as this one. And then we see the finishing on the watch. It's a high polish on the case, which is really acceptable. You can see yourself. It's a good finishing. And then on the bracelet we have brushed finishing on the outer side of the links, polished finishing on the inside. And we have really good finishing for the price that helps us adhere to that vintage aesthetic, which of course looks amazing. Now, obviously we already know that Timex is a brand that gives us a lot of quality for an acceptable price. But the most incredible thing about this watch is how it looks. Timex has been making the Marlin model for many years, since around the 60s or 70s. And what I like the most about this watch is the texture that it has on the dial. It is a sun ray dial, which is complemented by the crystal, which in this case is plexiglass, which gives it that vintage vibe. And obviously, of course, all of this finished with that beautiful panda dial, which of course if I show it to you, you'll know why it is called a panda dial. This watch is so beautiful, vintage inspired watch, which I love. I love vintage watches and the aesthetic, but it is so versatile that generally I would say it's not worth putting an expensive strap on an affordable watch. But in this case I try to put the lug strap on it, that the strap costs basically the same as the watch. And look, it is such an elegant and well finished watch that it looks incredible with this strap. Now, instead of the high quality expensive strap making the watch look less, the strap ends up lifting the watch and it makes it look like a much more expensive watch than it actually is. And this is a watch that you buy for everyday use, and you end up using it every day, and you see it every day, and you don't get tired because the dial is super neutral, and because it is extremely versatile, because you can combine it with many colors, many outfits, but also because it is made out of very high quality. This is one of those watches that you put on and you really know that they will not fail, they will not stop working. You can feel it. And of course you have all of the vintage, beautiful vintage aesthetic, but obviously it comes with current technology and a fairly acceptable price, which, yes, I know I've talked about price all the video. It comes with a price tag of around $200. But personally, I love this watch. And although I have much more expensive watches, there are a few that aesthetically come close to it. I'm truly impressed with it. This is quite a beautiful vintage inspired watch for a really acceptable price with a high quality. But what do you think?